Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to Just a Vision. I am Jaquel Viola, your host and your guide as you are ascending along your spiritual journey into higher states of consciousness. If anybody is new here, welcome. Peace, love, gratitude, and healing. Please subscribe as well as to hit that bell button to be notified every time I post so that you do not miss out. Alright guys, if you are ready to be motivated and inspired to transform your life for the better in all areas, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, sexually, and even financially, through unconditional love, ancient wisdom and knowledge, spirituality, conscious-based information, shared experiences, psychedelics, and other natural and holistic ways of healing, then I highly suggest that you stay tuned for the rest of this discussion. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today's video discussion is going to be another episode/lesson to the new segment on my YouTube channel called Soul Light Knowledge. And before we get into today's lesson, I want to do a little bit of a recap of what we learned in the first two previous videos. And if you haven't watched them, I will put the link in the description box below for both of them. But what we learned, ladies and gentlemen, is that we are highly powerful, multidimensional spiritual beings experiencing a human existence. And like I've told you guys before, there is more than what meets the eye. We are more than just our physical bodies. We are in fact actually made up of 4 bodies and or energy levels that need to be balanced in order for you to have a good life of satisfaction, ease, peace, and harmony. Okay, so 3 of those bodies that you have are non-physical, meaning they are ethereal, they're non-visible. You can't really see them, they're energetic, but you know they're there. Most people believe that we're only made up of our physical bodies, but that is not true. We are made up of 4 bodies, and all 4 of them need to be balanced in order for us to have a good life, again, of ease, satisfaction, peace, and harmony. And those 4 bodies include the mental body, the physical body, the emotional body, and the spiritual body. And those 4 bodies, ladies and gentlemen, then make up the triad. And most of us know the triad as the mind, body, and soul connection. But as you guys know, and as I've been on my spiritual journey, I've actually learned that the triad is not necessarily the mind, body, and soul connection, but it is rather the mind, body, and emotions connection. And our soul/spirit encompasses all 3 of them, or houses all 3 of these aspects. So we also learned in the previous video discussion that our souls expect us to become aware of these 3 aspects in order for us to express divinity in human form. Because again, ladies and gentlemen, we are multidimensional spiritual beings having or experiencing a human existence, which is why a lot of us have to go through these trials and these tribulations, these setbacks and these obstacles. We don't realize that we came back to earth in order for us to wake up and remember who we truly are. We came back to earth and forgot who we were so that we could go through these lessons and remember who we are so that we can live a life of satisfaction, ease, peace, and harmony. But we have to wake up and we have to realize that we have to take care of our bodies. We have to make sure that each of our 4 bodies are balanced out. We have to make sure that our mind, our body, and our emotions connection is balanced out, and it is, in a state of alignment. Because if not, we're gonna feel like chickens with our heads cut off. We're gonna feel like our life isn't going to get better. We're gonna keep feeling like we're having all of these trials, tribulations, and these setbacks holding us back, and we can't move forward. But you have to realize that everything's happening for a reason. Become aware of yourself, become aware of your mind, become aware of your body, become aware of your emotions so that you can connect back to your soul, so that you can connect back to your spirit and remember who you truly are as, again, a multidimensional spiritual being experiencing a human existence. So we also, ladies and gentlemen, talked about the importance of the mind and heart coherence. And coherence is the state of alignment of your mind, your body, and your emotions. And that is when you are able to live that life of ease, satisfaction, peace, and harmony. When your mind, your body, and your emotions are in alignment. You have to make sure that you take care of all 3 of them. You have to make sure that all of this is balanced out, or else you're going to have a lot of trials, tribulations, setbacks. You're going to have a lot of chaos in your life that you don't know how to deal with. You're going to have a lot of things that you just don't understand, and you're just like, damn, why is all of this happening to me? Why can't I move forward? You have to become aware of yourself, become aware of who you are, become aware of what is going on within you and all around you, not just your physical body, but your mental body, guys, your emotional body, your spiritual body. Make sure that you become aware of it so that you can take care of yourself in the best way possible. Because when you are not taking care of yourself, that's when you have, again, a life of chaos, a life of sickness, illness, disease, feeling like nothing is going to get better. So within today's discussion, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to just take this triad a little bit further and break it down to understand what each of them mean. So today's lesson is going to be on the mind aspect of who we truly are. So everyone, within the next few video discussions, we'll be breaking down and understanding the triad of the soul and understanding each of the aspects: mind, body, emotions, as well as the soul/spirit as a whole. But with that being said, today we're going to be talking about the mind part of the triad. So the mind governs our mental and emotional aspects, which is why it is highly important and imperative to understand the mind and heart connection, the mind and heart coherence, which I talked about in the previous video. And if you haven't watched it, make sure to check it out. The video link will be in the description box below. But the mind also houses our consciousness, and by definition, ladies and gentlemen, consciousness is a state of being awake, like we are now. Most of us are awake and aware of what's going on. It's a state of being awake and aware of ourselves, others, and our environment and surroundings all around us. The mind, if you didn't know, is also made up of 3 levels. Well, that is by Sigmund Freud. His theory is that the mind is made up of 3 levels, which would be the conscious psyche, the subconscious and or preconscious, as well as the unconscious/superconscious. So as you can tell by this iceberg theory, the conscious mind only makes up about 10% of our mind as a whole, while the subconscious and the preconscious make up about 50 to 60%, and the unconscious and the superconscious make up about 30 to 40%. So the conscious psyche is the part of ourselves, or the part of the mind, is what we reveal to the world. So this is what we would reveal to the world. So that's things like what we would say, think, do, perceive, feel, etc. The subconscious mind is the part where we store our true feelings, as well as, thoughts that we're keeping in mind, stored memories and emotions and knowledge. While the unconscious and the superconscious is the part of our mind where we store a lot of fear, violent motives, universal knowledge, sexual desires, well, let's say shameful sexual desires, etc. This is, ladies and gentlemen, the part of ourselves right here, from the subconscious to the superconscious or unconscious. This is the part of ourselves that we hide from the world. This is the part of ourselves that we usually don't want people to see. We don't want people to know about these darker parts of ourselves. We don't want people to know that we're a little bit mischievous, or we think certain ways, or we want to do certain things. This is the part of ourselves that we truly hide from the world. And as you can tell, we only honestly use a small percentage of our minds, which is that 10%, because the rest of it, these are just things that we're holding back, that we're hiding, that we don't want people to see. We only show people about 10%. The things that we do, the things that we say, the things that we feel. Again, which is why it is important to understand the mind, because there's so much going on in the mind that it can be hard for us to kind of navigate between what's real and what's not real, because we have a lot of stuff going on that we don't know how to, again, organize. Most of us don't know how to take care of our minds, which is why many of us are dealing with mental health disorders, depression, anxiety, whatever the case is, because with depression, we're holding on to things from the past, and with anxiety, we are, scared of what's to come in the future. We're anxious about what's to come. So we have to make sure that we really, truly understand the mind and what each part of it is about. So the mind not only governs our mental and emotional aspects, it also houses our consciousness. But it can also be defined, ladies and gentlemen, as a person's set of intellectual or mental faculties or facilities. I think that's what it says, facilities, which refers to a group or a group of cognitive psychiatric things that include, functions like your perception, your memory, your reasoning. There's so much going on, guys, which is why we need to take care of our minds, because most of this are things that we don't want to talk about, things that we don't want people to know, but we have to get to the root cause of our problems, and most of us don't know what the root cause is because we are afraid of taking that next step, or we're afraid of change, or we're afraid of going deeper within ourselves to get that better understanding. But that better understanding is what is going to allow you to live a life of satisfaction, to live a life of ease, and to live the life that you've always wanted to live, of your wildest dreams. So guys, the mind/mental body is formed of thoughts and perception, as well as our beliefs, our desires, our values, our goals, and our opinions. It's also how we process information and how we learn and how we focus. Then the mind can also be divided again into the ego-based mind and the divine mind. So the ego-based mind is all about being stuck, madness, denial, victimhood, war, separation, anger, blame, coldness, jealousy. And it was actually meant to be used, guys, as a tool, needed to help you create your own reality, to help you start to set your own intentions, to set your own goals and planning. And then it was supposed to be turned off, whenever you were done with that, so that you could live from a place of presence in the divine mind, which the divine mind is all about being humble, unconditional love, wisdom, unity, forgiveness, sympathy, understanding, being spiritual, living in the now, living in the present moment. Awareness, guys, of the mind is not anything new, okay? Because for thousands of years, people understood the connection between the mind, the body, and the emotions and the spirit. However, guys, this concept has been long gone. It has been long gone. It has been lost for a long time, because most of us operate from this ego-based mind, this fear state of mind, which is loud and very exhausting because it's always working. It's always trying to do something. It's always trying to analyze and navigate and do this and do that. Sometimes you just have to sit back and relax and allow it to everything to happen as it's supposed to. But most of us are living and operating from this ego-based mindset because of the fact that around the 17th century, Western culture, Western religion, which is over here in America, started to see the mind and the body as being separate from each other, as being separate from the soul as well. So basically, they just said that they were all separate entities, and they believed that the body was like a machine with replaceable parts. I mean, yeah, you can get a new arm or you can get a new leg, but we're not robots, we're not machines. But the Western society, the Western side of the world, that is how they operate. They operate on a patriarchal, masculine side of things, always doing, rather than trying to understand and allow things to happen as they're supposed to. Now, don't get me wrong, guys. It did have its benefits in like trauma care and surgery and pharmaceuticals, but then again, guys, it reduced humans' emotional and spiritual life, and it also downplayed their own ability to be able to heal themselves. So the ego-based mind isn't something necessarily bad, because it does help us when we're in that survival mode and we need to get out of it, and we're trying to plan and trying to process and get out of it. But we cannot be stuck in that mindset for a long time, because we're gonna think that we're robots and we should always do this and we should always do that. Sometimes not even sometimes, most of the time, you should be living from your divine mind, being in that sense of the now, understanding, being humble, understanding the wisdom and the knowledge that is given to you, being, forgiveful. That's not even a word. Forgiveful is not even a word, but having forgiveness, loving each other, having sympathy, can't even talk right now, sympathy for, one another. We are human beings. We should not be treated like robots, living from this ego-based mind, thinking that we should only be doing what they want us to do, rather than allowing things to happen and living our lives how we want to live our lives. So again, the ego-based mind is not anything bad, but we should not continue to live in the ego-based mind, because that is where you're going to be afraid, you're going to be angry, you're going to blame other people, you're going to have that victim mentality, you're going to deny, whatever it is that people are trying to talk to you about. It's war, it's separation, it's chaos, it's loud. That is why most of us, again, are dealing with mental health disorders, because we don't know how to understand and navigate the mind properly. So, ladies and gentlemen, when our mind and our mental state is clear and stable, that is when we will be able to be at that state of peace, satisfaction, harmony, tranquility. That is when you will be in alignment with your divine mind. The mental body can receive energy from the spiritual body and use it to its fullest potential to create the life of your dreams. It's just that you have to learn how to process everything the right way. Most of us are stuck in the fear, ego-based mindset, and we're afraid of taking that next step because we're afraid of what is to come or what is out there. You have to have trust and faith in the divine, in the universe, and knowing that everything will be okay. So guys, when we only operate from our ego mindset, we are letting our thoughts basically kill our lives, because we're over planning, we're always overthinking, we're stuck in the past memories and in our own opinions, and we are creating mental blocks for ourselves, and we aren't able to move forward. So guys, it is highly imperative to learn how to understand your mind, to learn how to navigate it, and learn that mind and heart coherence, so you can live that life of satisfaction, live that life of ease, and to be able to live the life of your wildest dreams. So with all of that being said, guys, I really hope that this video gave you a little bit of more wisdom and knowledge and understanding about the mind and how it works, and why it's so important to make sure that you take care of not only your mental body, but all of your bodies, your mental body, your emotional body, your physical body, and your spiritual body. They all connect back to each other. They need to be in balance with one another. So I hope this video gave you a lot of wisdom, a lot of knowledge, and If it did, let me know in the description box below, and I will be back with more videos. Peace, love, and gratitude.